all these are secured, and now you are moving to eliminate the remaining thing to make sure that when you come out of there, you are clean and then you go to paradise. And that is why when you look at the verses that address Al-Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala قال تعالى إن أول البيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم. The first house placed or built on the face of the earth is that which is in Bakka, in Makkah, holy, and its guidance for the whole of mankind and jinn. There are symbols, very clear ones, like Maqam Ibrahim. Woman dakhaluhu, whoever enters that house is secured. When the Quran says that, it's not saying it as a statement, it's as a statement. You see, Quran was revealed in Arabic language. Arabic language is a very funny and fascinating language. This is not a statement, but it's a commandment. Whoever enters it is secure, means whoever enters it should make it secure by being peaceful yourself. So whoever enters it, man dakhalahu kana aminan, walillahi ala nas hajjul bayt, and to Allah is an obligation on mankind, solely for Allah, for them to perform Hajj. Hajjul bayt liman istata'a ilayhi sabilan. And I will emphasize liman istata'a. He said for you to perform Hajj, for those who are able. So the issue of ability will be definitely discussed later, but it's very, very important. Liman istata'a ilayhi sabilan, whosoever is able. And then the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and another verse, in fact, before we go to the Prophet, said, Al-Hajj ashhurun ma'lumatun faman farada fihin al-Hajj fala rafatha wala fusuq wala jidada fil Hajj. Al-Hajj, pilgrimage, is conducted within known month, within a known period. Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajj. Faman farada fihin al-Hajj, whosoever is intending to go, fala rafatha, you should not involve in vain talks. Wala fusuqa, you should not involve in bad also speeches. Wala jidala, you should not involve in immoral argument. Allah is saying that if you are now trying to go, make sure that you are prepared to go. Make sure that you prepare yourself for istita'a, for ability. Not just to go, but be ready to go. Meaning, try to exercise those values before you go to Hajj. He said those who go should not involve in vain talk, should not involve in not only useless talk, but bad also speeches, bad talks, and also very immoral arguments. And in Hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said from Abu Huraira, Man hajja falam yarfuth walam yafsuq raja'a kayawma waladathu ummu. Whosoever perform Hajj and does not involve in rafath, vain talk, walam yafsuq, or in bad speeches, raja'a kayawma waladathu ummu. He will return back home as pure as the day that he came to this world. Because when you come as a child, you are pure, you are sinless as far as our system is concerned. So if you come back also from Hajj, performing it properly, then you come back sinless. That is what is very, very important for you to understand. So Hajj then means what? Meaning intending, going to Mecca is a lifetime journey to Mecca with the intention to perform tawaf, meaning going around the Kaaba 7 times, sa'i, also to run, or at least to walk between Safa and Marwa. Also wuquf, you also go and perform that day in Arafah with ihram. If you have these 4, these are the 4 pillars of Hajj itself. Number 1, tawaf, 7 times. Number 2, sa'i. Of course, you have to run or walk Safa and Marwa. Number 3, wuquf bi Arafah, and Arafah is very important. You go to Arafah, and then number 4, you have to do that with ihram, that seamless cloth that you put around you like everybody. So now, to put Hajj in its perspective, we have told you that Shahada means this. Iqamatu Salat is purported for this. Ita Zakat is purported. What is the main purpose for Hajj? Number 1, the main purpose for Hajj is number 1, to eliminate the ego. You see, the reason why Iblis is cursed, because he was arrogant. He performed a lot of worship, but because of arrogance, he lost it. There are people who think that their ego, you know, who am I? Do you know me? that when you go to the last day with do you know me, you will go to hell. So Hajj will cleanse you, will purify you to eliminate that ego. And that is why we will tell you how that's done. So, but number one is to eliminate your ego. When you come back, you are absorbed to the commonality, to the ummah. The second thing is a yearly world assembly of Muslims. Hajj now is losing its purpose, is losing its socio-economic and political purpose, because the reason for Hajj was for the Muslims to assemble every year, to congregate and then to exchange ideas in all aspects of life, political life, social life. It should have been that case. People from all walks of life should meet and then exchange ideas to see what is the best interest for the ummah. But of course, that is now being lost, because now they have these mini states. When they even meet, they're having some sensitivities and forgetting the whole idea of ummah. But that should have been the case. The third thing for Hajj is have a real sense of the last day. If you go to Hajj and you have been able to perform it properly, when you are in Hajj, sometimes you feel being not in this world. You feel being elsewhere. This movement of everybody clothing in one form of cloth, in that uniformity, going one direction, saying the same thing, you will be absorbed in that spiritual world. You feel being in the last day. Because in the last day, nobody has the business of any other. And then you are there for yourself, you go one direction. Definitely in Hajj, if you perform it, you feel sometimes that you are in the last day, and that is very important for you to have that sense of the last day. The fourth thing is the total equality. The first thing for Hajj is to have a total equality between Muslims. When you go in Hajj, you can realize that there is no major, no minor, no higher, no lower. A minister or a director or a president is equal to a shepherd. A king is equal to his guards, because all of them are the same. And that is, what is it? In the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most important measurement is piety, but nothing else. It's not about our appearances. It's not about our monies. It's not about our clothes. It's not about our certificates. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are all the same. No major, no minor, no higher, no lower. And Hajj epitomizes that. Hajj symbolizes that. You go and you see that each one of them is the same. There is no problem. So that sense of equality, you are absorbed in the commonality of the ummah. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who gave me a very significant scientific symbol also, who told me that when you look at atom, the subatomic particles, when they go around the nucleus, every 7 times they explode into energy. He says that when he look at the people around the Kaaba and you look at them from distance, it's very fascinating, as if they are doing the way that the subatomic particles are going around an atom. And every time a pilgrim goes 7 times around the Kaaba, that pilgrim should explode in energy, meaning should forget himself and be part of that commonality, right? Because you turn into energy. That should be the way. Then you turn into light. That is very important. If you take that kind of metaphor or metaphorical dimension, it is very, very fascinating. Then you can see Hajj. But then how can the ego be eliminated? How can that I, because we are told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by the Prophet, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من الكبر. He in whose heart an atom of arrogance will not enter paradise. The Quran also tells us, إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. Whosoever comes to the last day and is guaranteed paradise are those who comes and then their hearts are clean from arrogance. لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من الكبر. So then the ego is only destroyed, is only eliminated by performing Hajj truly and purely. How is that done? Look at Ihram, for example. Ihram is one of the pillars of Hajj. Ihram means that seamless cloth, that white one. that a man would put, and then